What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Phil Risen here, and we are here to talk about Chud the Builder once again. And you know what? I've tried to kind of stay away from this story because everybody's talking about it, but I got to give it to him. There's a reason that everybody's talking about it, man. I feel like every 10 seconds, something new and salacious and weird comes out about Chud the Builder. Now, we all know who Chud is, so I'm not really going to go into the events that led to him being on trial right now, but I will tell you that since he's been in jail, he's only gotten in more and more trouble. And now it's getting pretty crazy because not only did he cause issues that have landed him in jail, but apparently his supporters now are starting to threaten the judges that are getting in the way of his bail. So apparently the judge that was in Tennessee who denied him his bail has been getting tons and tons of death threats, so much so that she had to come out and basically say that she won't be intimidated against the threats against her, which I don't know how he thinks this is going to help him win in any sort of way. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, guys. What's even crazier is the fact that Chud now is getting outed by multiple people in the LGBTQIA community for being a part of the community and being on the DL. Now, this isn't something that is completely crazy to us because a lot of people have probably saw the picture of Chud the Builder from before he was doing live stream. He's wearing fairy wings. It's a whole get up. Very, very questionable, but still deniable, right? And we also did have a clip that came out about Chud the Builder before he was arrested of a young, very attractive black woman talking about how she used to peg this man. She showed up on his live stream, literally just like stopped. It was kind of crazy. Like she must have been tracking this guy. She stopped him and basically came and introduced herself as the person who pegs Chud the Builder. And later on, she gave some reference for those things. We'll play this clip right now.
What's up, y'all? Lily Venus here, pretty bitch with a big dick. It's literally in my bio. I'm only bringing this up because Chud the Builder's cameraman put our conversation on Broadway on YouTube. Now millions of people know what I look like fresh off work. Fucking great. But in the caption it said that black woman who used to smoke mid and get raw dogged by Chud the Builder. Well, he's not lying. I already told y'all we used to smoke. He used to sell me weed. And we did raw dog a lot. Me, him, and my ex-wife. I am a professional pegger. It is no secret that I perform prostate massages, if you will, for men. I've been doing it for a very long time now. Most of my clientele is white men. We sign NDA agreements. I talk about me pegging all the time, but I never tell you names because discretion is key. Confidentiality is why my client list is so long. But Chud mentioned it first. I think that he said it the way he said it because the white supremacists were probably like, ew, you used to hang out with a black girl, shame on you. So he had to make it sound good. But see, here's the thing. I'm an egregore too. Lily Venus, hi. Hail the great mother. So I am all about enlightenment, controversy, occultism, witchcraft, and of course, love. So me talking about this is what my brand is about. Let's expose it, bro. So yes, pretty bitch with a big dick. I have not fucked Dalton since like 2015. He was a little chubbier then. His cheeks used to clap in such like the cutest way. Now Chud, he doesn't even have a little chubby butt no more. So I probably wouldn't fuck him again. But I'm wondering, did you bring that up because you want to spin the block? Now, when I first fucked him, he was a virgin. And I'm having a hunch that he probably hasn't been fucked since me and my ex-wife. We can start small, buddy. I got you. But you don't have to fucking cap. Like, if you're going to say that we fucked, say the whole truth, okay? Now, with that being said, why do I peg? Because it's a hustle and it helps me get through college. I'm still in college. But now I don't have a choice. I will forever be a top because I had a surgery 3 years ago. The doctor fucked up and chopped my coochie off. You don't believe me? The link is in the fucking bio. I have been this way my whole life. My ex-girlfriends can vouch for me. I am a top. I fuck men and I fuck women with my dick. My dick is bisexual. The pussy is gay. And that's just that on that. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. So I'm not going to give this any more attention. Today is Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. I'm not bringing this into next week. Stop fucking asking me where can you find Chud. He's on Broadway. The same way I found him, you can go find him too. Bye.
So needless to say, this type of behavior is not something that is new to Chud. And as somebody who has tons of LGBTQIA friends, I see nothing wrong with it. I do see it as extremely hypocritical, though, from a man who roams around the streets antagonizing people with bigoted words and using racial slurs to hurt people and hurt marginalized communities, being secretly part of a marginalized community. I do think that is awful. You know, being gay as a whole, nothing wrong with it. Being a guy who likes getting pegged, do your thing. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Hey, we can still be buddies. You know what I mean? You wanna be homies? I'll smoke weed with you. I don't care. We can hang out. We can get a beer. You're just a guy. But when you run around and you start discriminating against people from communities that have been discriminated against throughout history, and it turns out that you're part of one of these communities secretly and you don't want anybody to know, you have to be exposed for this. Hypocrisy at its finest. But one thing I do have to give to the whole alphabet community is the fact that when one of them steps out of line like this, they call them out very, very quickly. And here is a young trans woman out here doing the Lord's work. You heard it. The Lord's work. Let's listen to her for just a second and see what she has to say about Mr. Chud the Builder.
Yeah, so last year, May 2025, I Chud the Builder.
And she got pictures too.
Women and femboys, they're the only people who
Crazy. And I love what I love about it too is that she not only talked about it, but she also has the video proof of this man kissing her on the cheek. Let's go back to it. Let's see it. Beautiful. Young love. You love to see it. I think this is beautiful. It's just the only problem with this picture is this guy right here. What a shame. What a shame.
women and femboys, they're the only people who want to act feminine. He sent me these texts with his baby mama, who was Latina, months later after a date. She said, "Go live."
Also, my bad. I also did not know Chud's baby mama was Latina at all. I don't know if that's completely true or not, because I feel like I've seen pictures of her and she looked pretty white to me, but who knows? Who knows? That, again, is one of those parts of hypocrisy that we're talking about, right? Where you're going to run around and you're going to antagonize black people, right? Which anybody who likes black people probably doesn't think that other races of people are that great either. But then you're going to procreate with a woman who's part of that race of people, right? And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is not only promoted by dudes like this, but also by the women that lay with them, or vice versa. You know what I mean? A black dude could, a white woman could be extremely racist, right? And then some black dude wants to hang out with her, so he just doesn't really care. These things are unacceptable, and these things are what cause more issues than there need to be. You know, when people are discriminatory and shitty, they need to be ostracized. Fuck that shit.
Happily ever after with a dude. Get him, girl. And then he said, back in the day, when women were made to be feminine, that's when society was the best and the least gay shit occurred. Every time women get out of hand, the facts go back to the Roman days and dudes who are more femme than their fat girlfriends are. Women are so manly, dudes would rather fuck a femboy than come home to their GF. Bitches who act like dudes will call.
The fact that this is Chud the Builder, you know, texting this to a trans woman who obviously by definition used to be male, right? Or at least male identifying on some level, right? Is crazy. Talking about how women aren't feminine enough, but you're hanging out with a woman who used to be very, very masculine. Forgive me for saying, I think there's a large spectrum of women. Some are more masculine, some are more feminine, and that doesn't dictate their sexual orientation either. You know, I've seen girls that are a little bit more butch, who are totally fucking straight, you know? And I've seen girls that are a lot more feminine who are gay, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? The fact that this dude has to comment on it instead of just finding what he likes and just living his own life is disgusting.
Call men gay for being femboys who are more feminine than they are, in quotes.
How dare you not want to come home and man with a pussy?
Sorry, babe, I'd rather fuck a girl with a dick than an N-word with a mid pussy like yours. Cry laughing emoji. My friend made a good point where she's like, yeah, bro, like you really owned your baby mama. I know it's like not base, like it's very misogynist. Just say you think it's hot, bro. Like, that's all.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like instead of just liking it inherently and just taking it in and supporting the person who you like and feel attracted to, i.e., a trans woman, right? You had to shit on cisgendered women in order to do that, to feel comfortable enough, because you're so homophobic against yourself and you're so full of self-hatred that you have to make excuses for why you're into something like that, right? I'm not into trans women because I'm into trans women. I'm into trans women because cisgendered women have forced me to look at trans women because they still decide they don't want to be feminine enough. You know, that's just not how things work, man. You know, or I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want to do, but it just seems really lame for somebody to do that.
It's not really just how hot he was. Yo, look at this last selfie he sent me, actually, from a new faceless Grinder profile.
I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna find it.
Look at this king picture. He's so God. I had to go digging through the text to find it, and I knew I'd sent it to my friend, but I fucking screamed when I saw what she had said. Like, Dalton started messaging me on Grindr again. She said, LMAO, why the fuck is he pretty? If he wasn't like a future murderer, I'd be lit as fuck for you.
And you know what? I gotta admit, the dude is not an ugly guy at the end of the day. And it's one of those things where I'm not even talking about him getting laid with like gay people or anything. It's like he's a good looking dude. It's like whatever you're into, you could probably get. Why are you walking around so angry at everybody and just shamelessly insulting people? There's a lot of people that would like you if you just gave them the opportunity to like you, but you're walking around antagonizing people because of whatever chip you have on your shoulder. And it's obviously making your life worse. Like, look at this. That's a good looking guy right there. He could have just been a good looking guy in a pickup truck living in Tennessee. Random white girls with cowboy boots and apparently trans women love that, right? You could have just been enjoying yourself all day, every day. Now you're in jail talking about free you because you were cheated based off of the First Amendment. And everybody knows that that's not true and you're going to rot.
Shout out my girl for being an oracle, I guess. I said that to her. She's like, on God.
Also, a little shade to her because I thought before I started watching this clip that she knew of Chud the Builder like way before his like streaming days and everything like that. But it's pretty clear that she knew him after he had already started gaining more recognition. So a little shade to her for still dating this guy knowing he's an overt racist. Crazy. But you know what they say, regardless of the alphabet, white is gonna white.
God, I never miss.
And then I said,
Neither did Chud, unfortunately. We cuddled on my couch and made out. I've struggled finding
Cuddling on your couch with a racist attempted murderer is a choice for sure.
a good word for what happened next. Because I think like simulated sex, it's too vague, and frauding is too specific. But at some point, I put it between his thighs. Not as
Well, okay. Well, alrighty then. You know, I get why Chud has a chip on his shoulder now. If you know, listen, I'm a straight guy, but if I was having certain fantasies about certain things and living in Tennessee, raised the way that Chud was apparently raised, I would understand the chip he has on his shoulder. I don't understand why he's putting that on black people and blaming us for it, but you know, I think I'm starting to get this. This guy is a closeted male. As of now, who knows? 2 years, he might be unbinary, non-binary, trans. But he's a closeted male who's taking out his anger on a lot of different people. It's a shame it landed him in jail. He could have been getting hit in between the thighs.
Sass, unfortunately, we were like kissing. He flexed his legs together, which it's funny from like Mr. I'm not a gay bottom. Like, I remembered this. Like, this came back to me.
I will say too, I feel like we have to start now putting like a tally on the different times that Dalton has apparently bottomed for all these people, right? So he's now bottomed for a trans woman and bottomed for a black woman. I mean, hey, listen, you know, his brain and his mouth might be a Republican, but that backside's a Democrat. He's letting everybody get in there. That booty is a DEI hire.
What we did was kind of more gay. Like, bruh, you just got your chud pounded. What else have you got to lose? Like, just
love a good chud. Love a good chud.
just flip over. Why am I losing my voice? I felt like Dalton wanted a trainee trad wife. We talked a lot about his job. I don't think he ever asked about mine. Several times after doing things for him, he called me a good girl. It was hot, like, don't get me wrong, but there was something unnerving about it. As corny as it sounds, I wondered what would happen if I was a bad girl. Chud was very intense. Ted Bundy's stare and all that.
And that's a fact. I mean, I'll be honest with you. She was very smart for no longer dealing with this guy. I don't know if he got all the way to jail while they were still dating or something, but the fact that she's not with him is probably the safest thing she could ever do, if we're being honest. Because this dude clearly has a lot of darkness and a lot of hatred in his soul. And, you know, when you're dealing with somebody who's usually like DL, regardless of race or their general beliefs, but if somebody's on the down low and stuff like that, they can be irritable, especially if they're ever called out for it or something like that. So it might have started out nice, but like she's saying, what if she was a bad girl? What if she exposed this guy for who he is, you know? And then he can end up killing her. I mean, on some real shit, he literally popped a person for saying, "Leave me alone." So, you know, anything could happen with this guy. He's a psycho.
He was bigger than me, and he would switch from being overly affectionate to annoyed and angry. Later down the road, he would neg me over text like, "I miss your big forehead." And if I pushed back, he excused it.
"You know I love you."
Which for one date, he said I love you like a few times. I said it back. I didn't want to get murdered. Maybe I did mean it. I feel like we both meant it a little bit because we're broken fucking people.
Jesus Christ. I will say, you know, as crazy as that guy is, you know, Chud, this lady is a little bit off her rocker as well too. But, you know, toxic loves toxic, right? That the crazy part though is that this video is not the only one that is out there about Chud. There's another one over here. So this is Poetic Flacco, who I love personally. I was never the hugest, you know, admirer of Poetic Flacco. I like what he does now, you know, putting shit out there, but I got to give respect to him about staying on Chud the Builder's neck. I feel like every day there's like 2 or 3 videos about Chud the Builder. This is all that he talks about. Fantastic time. So I want to show a clip that's within his video. I will say to Flacco though, appreciate everything you do, but you gotta give a little bit of love and a little bit of recognition to the people in these video clips. This dude obviously was posting this to expose Chud the Builder, but, you know, to get a little bit of clout off it, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that wherever this was on TikTok or Twitter, it went viral. I can't find it anymore because I was searching all over TikTok and X and all that shit, but the only place I could find it is here. But, you know, hey, bro, you know, it's in your video. Show the dude some love, you know, tag him or something. You know, it's reactor to reactor. I know I'm not shit, but I mean, you know, I'm right. Tag him. But yeah, here's this dude. Apparently he went to school with Chud the Builder. Pretty insane. And he tells stories about how weird he was as well.
don't know if it's already public knowledge, but like that Chud the Builder guy, the blatantly racist white guy that's in Tennessee and like just is blatantly racist, we're from the same town. And multiple times he sent me and my other gay boyfriends nudes on Grindr. So
There you go. So always fun, always fun. There has to be, you know, like we need to start studying the closeted gay man to severely angry hetero pipeline. you know at some point, I know it's a trope now of the dude who's closeted gay and who beats people up and stuff like that, but it is a real thing, and we do need to start working it out because too many young men are not accepting themselves and then acting out because they don't accept themselves, and this is a main reason why the world is dealing with the chaos that it's dealing with. Chud the Builder could just be like a contractor in Tennessee, but he wasn't anymore because he was being racist to a black lady. That black lady outed him. He got in trouble. Then he got so sick with anger about that he started doing what he did, which led to him being in jail for attempted murder, right? But all that anger from the initial racism to that black lady probably stems from him being a closeted gay man and feeling a need to be more masculine in front of people all the time, and honestly finding somewhere to put his own self-hatred, you know? And you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
oh my god, great question. I don't know if you've like ever thought about this, but the world actually like operates on a timeline. And part of the timeline is the past. And in the past, I didn't have a boyfriend like I do in the current, like present.
I do want to give it up to gay people and just the whole alphabet community for the expert level Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct level of shade that they can give, because I think this needs to happen. This dude literally writes, why do you have Grindr if you have a boyfriend? Like he's a idiot. The fact that this man had to tell him how time works so that he could stop being an idiot is hilarious, and I love the fact that he did it. Shout out to this dude. This is why you need to tag this guy. He's a funny creator. I want to check out his shit.
Tense. So okay, but low-key, I'm happy that my video outing Chud the Builder, aka Dalton Etherly or whatever, is getting like traction, because we went to the same high school together, and trigger warning, I was popular on Vine, like that was my thing. And one day I was staying after school for math tutoring because I needed help in math, and I was standing outside of the school, like on my phone, just like being on my phone, and he took a picture of me, then posted it to social media being like, this is what like the internet popular kids do in real life, like this is what they're actually like. I'm sitting there waiting for my mom to pick me up from after school tutoring, and you're taking a picture of me Right. So at the end of the day, I won. You're going to jail, if not prison, and your bond was $1.2 million.
Shut. Exactly. This dude is a complete fucking creep, man. Just an absolute creep, dude. Number one, taking pictures of people in general, when they can't see you, it's just fucking weird. It's weird. And number two, again, it's like, this is where a lot of that anger in him stems from. Obviously, he wasn't a popular kid because he's taking pictures of popular kids and then putting them on social media and saying, this is what happens to all the popular kids you think are cool. This is what they secretly do, right? Not only that, he's aiming at a gay kid, so he probably had some sort of weird attraction to him while also being resentful of this person's popularity. I say that to say this. Young men, particularly young white men, but young men in general, look yourself in the mirror and accept yourself for who you are. Because if you don't, your anger is going to follow you. And not only is it going to follow you, it's going to get bigger and bigger with every year, every misfortunate experience. And you're going to act out and land yourself in jail or destroy every healthy relationship you have with the people that you love. And it's all because you hate yourself so much for being who you are deep down. Accept yourself, hug your friends, hug your family, have good, open, real, emotional relationships, and join the party. Because I'll tell you right now, humanity is pretty fun. We're not that bad at people. And if you stop being so weird and stop being a hater, you'd probably have some fun too. That's the video, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you. Peace.